Hello everybody, my name is Tara and today we are doing the Harry Potter tag! I have been on BookTube now for 10 months, I believe-ish, and somehow I have never done a video dedicated entirely to Harry Potter, except for my Hogwarts sorting video. But that was more about me and not Harry Potter, so I'm not gonna really count it. And this might be my last chance to do it, because if you missed my announcement a couple months ago, early next year I will be a mother of 2, and I have learned enough from doing BookTube as a mother of 1 to know I'm just not gonna be able to do it as a mother of 2. So this is my last month on BookTube. These are the last few weeks I'm gonna be making videos. I gotta do this Harry Potter tag now. I tried to find the original creator of this tag, but I can't find it. I think it was from a blog and not a video. I'm gonna try to look a little bit more. If I do find it, I will leave the link down below. If I can't find it, sorry! Of course, this video will be full of spoilers for Harry Potter, so if you haven't read Harry Potter or you haven't seen the movies, I don't know why you're interested in watching this video, but you have been warned. Spoilers abound. And without further ado, let's get going. Number 1, favorite book. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. The main reason that this is my favorite book of the 7 is that it gave me the most intense emotional reaction. I did cry a couple times here and there throughout the book, but once it got to A Prince's Tale, I started crying and I did not stop for the entire rest of the book. And it was past midnight at this point, and I had roommates at that time, so I was trying to sob quietly and like full on sobbing. I don't mean I had a couple of tears running down my face. I mean full on, couldn't catch my breath, sobbing. And yeah, that's a good thing because I like books that can evoke such a strong emotional reaction. That's what I look for when I read. Every time I reread the series, this is the one that gets me. So yeah, Deathly Hallows is definitely my favorite. It has been since the first time I read it. It is still now 10 years later, and I'm pretty sure it's always gonna be. Number 2, least favorite book. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, pretty much because this is just a rehash of Philosopher's Stone. It's the exact same plot. Harry gets involved in a mystery, he has to try to figure it out. Somehow he does, even though no one else, you know, adults and accomplished wizards and teachers, they can't figure it out, but somehow Harry and his 2 friends figure it out. And then he has to fight Voldemort at the end, and through sheer luck he actually wins and survives. And it's just the exact same story. Number 3, favorite movie. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I think I'm in the minority on this because I know a lot of people didn't like Half-Blood Prince for the teen romance stuff that went on. It was fine in the book and it was hilarious in the movie. The wand drawing the heart on the window, everything with Lavender Ron was hilarious. And the more serious scenes with Harry comforting Hermione when she's crying in the stairs and Harry and Ginny's first kiss, I thought those were really, really well done. It gave a deeper level to those scenes than I think the book had, and they were beautiful. They were beautiful. Really everything about Half-Blood Prince was beautiful. I think that was the first one that David Yates directed, and he did a phenomenal job. The cinematography, the way everything was shot, the music, oh, the music of that movie was the absolute best. Oh, and one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie franchise is in Half-Blood Prince when we're at lunch, I believe, in the Great Hall, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione are talking, and then you just slowly realize that Luna's there.
Hello, everyone.
And she has this enormous lion hat. Oh my gosh. Number 4, least favorite movie. I think this one is between Chamber of Secrets and Goblet of Fire. Chamber of Secrets for the same reasons I already mentioned. Goblet of Fire because so much was left out of it. I don't know how anyone could understand what went on with the Polyjuice Potion and with Veritaserum and with Priori Incantatem. I don't know how anyone who hasn't read the books would get any of that. The movie's just left out a lot of crucial information. I understand sometimes you gotta leave stuff out for the sake of brevity, like leaving out spew. I was never upset with that because do we really need it? But leaving out crucial information that explains everything that just happened throughout the movie for people who haven't read the books, they shouldn't be leaving that stuff out. And I think Goblet of Fire was the worst for that. Number 5, if you could remake a movie, which one would you remake? This is gonna sound a little bit strange, but I think I would remake my favorite movie, Half-Blood Prince. I would not change anything that's there because I love everything that's there, but I would add the pensive scenes that we missed out on, Harry getting to see Voldemort's past, because those were some of my favorite scenes in that book. I love that we got all that information about Voldemort and where he came from and how he became what he did. Again, I understand why some of that had to be cut because Did we need that information to understand what was going on? No. But I think it really helps round out the character of Voldemort and make him a little bit more than just a one-dimensional villain that he kind of is. So yeah, I would remake Half-Blood Prince purely to add those scenes back in. Number 6, what parts of the books or movies made you cry? The books didn't make me cry all that much. I think I cried a little bit at the end of Half-Blood Prince when Dumbledore died, but I think that was it up until Deathly Hallows. I definitely cried a little bit when Harry and Hermione were in the graveyard and Harry found his parents' graves. How could that not just stab you in the heart? And then of course the entire end of the book, those last 80 whatever pages, cried straight through. I think I might have shed some tears at Dumbledore's death more in the movie than I did with the book. Because that scene with the wands lighting up and the music, oh, it was just heart-wrenching. Throughout the end of Deathly Hallows, the movie, maybe just as much as the book. Number 7, if you could hook up with a Harry Potter character, who would it be? After seeing the Crimes of Grindelwald movie, I might have to say Dumbledore back in the 1920s because Jude Law did a really good job with that. Number 8, what would your Patronus be? Probably some kind of cat because I am a bit of a crazy cat lady. What's my Patronus on Pottermore? Apparently my Patronus is a wild boar. What? No, I'm gonna go with cat. Number 9, favorite quote. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Albus Dumbledore, Harry Potter, and the Philosopher's Stone. This has long been one of my favorite quotes, not just in the Harry Potter series, but in general, because I love the meaning behind it. That you can't just dream about something, you can't just want something, you have to actually go out and get it. And it's something that I try to live by, but I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't done it more because I am 35 and I've always wanted to be a writer all my life, and I still haven't finished a manuscript to the point where I could send it out and try to get it published, let alone actually have anything published. So if I had worked harder for that earlier in my life, maybe I'd be there now. But I didn't, and I'm not. But I'm trying. So hopefully someday I can feel that I have lived up to that quote, to that ideal of not dwelling on dreams, but living them. Number 10, what is your Hogwarts house? If you couldn't tell by the green and silver tie, I am in Slytherin. I have fully embraced that in the last few years. I'm still having moments where I do something or think something and I'm like, yeah, I'm a Slytherin. Number 11, who is your favorite Weasley? I've never really thought about that at all. I kind of want to say Fred and George because they're really funny and I like funny, but they're just one person to me. So how can that really be my favorite character if I don't recognize each character for themselves? It's definitely not Molly, unpopular opinion, but I have some issues with Molly. Arthur is also funny in his whole muggle obsession, but I got some issues with him too. I guess I'm gonna go with Ron. I don't know if I would be friends with Ron in real life. He's not the sort of person I think I would get along with very well because he is so emotionally volatile. He's super jealous and super petty. But again, he was a teenager. He might be totally different as an adult. But I still love him. We get to know him so well throughout the series that I just can't help but love him. Number 12, your favorite villain. That is a tough question. It might be Umbridge. She is a horrible person. Horrible person. I think she is the worst person in the whole series. She is worse than Voldemort. Voldemort is one thing. He's got his crazy, dramatic villain stuff going on. He wants to be immortal. He wants to rule the wizarding world. And we don't really encounter that kind of stuff a whole lot in real life. But Umbridge. We do encounter Umbridges in real life. We encounter the authority figures who take advantage of their authority, who abuse that authority, who try to control those beneath them. Hopefully we don't all have teachers in our pasts that made us carve words into our own skin, but even though she is the absolute worst and I hate her as a person, what a villain. What a villain. From the perspective of a character in a story, she is just the best villain. Number 13, if you could meet a member of the cast, who would it be? I'd probably say Daniel Radcliffe. I have no great affinity for any particular cast member, but Daniel Radcliffe, he's freaking Harry Potter. He experienced everything. And I think the conversations that you can have about that with him would be amazing. Number 14, have you played any of the video games? Yes, I have. I think I played The Order of the Phoenix game and maybe the Half-Blood Prince game. They weren't that great. It was a lot of fun to kind of be in the world as much as you can, and roaming around Hogwarts and exploring, that was pretty cool. But as for a game, they weren't that great. Number 15, were you happy with the ending? Yes, actually, I was. I know a lot of people did not like that epilogue, but I thought it was perfect. All Harry wanted all of his life was a family. We see it in the Mirror of Erised, which literally shows you your heart's deepest desires. It was a family. And in the epilogue, we see that he gets that. He married Ginny. He has 3 wonderful children with her. He's got Ron and Hermione, who are more of a brother and sister now than they ever were before, and their kids, and then the other Weasley's kids as an extended family. He has this great big family now, and that's what he always wanted. And I think that's the perfect ending to his story. As for Albus Severus Potter, again, I know a lot of people didn't like that, but my face was finally starting to dry a little bit at that point, and as soon as I read the words Albus Severus Potter, I was done. I was gone. Broken, shattered, in such a good way. Snape had long been one of my favorite characters, and in Deathly Hallows, Dumbledore became my absolute #1 favorite character. So to have Harry honor them both, to acknowledge and appreciate what both of them had done for him, that was just beautiful. Number 16, Richard Harris or Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon, nothing against Richard Harris. I think he did a great archetypal mentor type old man wizard figure. He did that really, really well, but Michael Gambon he is Dumbledore. He fully became Dumbledore, and he gave such a depth to the character. There were some choices the writers made in terms of making him a little bit more
You put your name in a goblet of fire
than he was in the books, but overall I think he gave a real depth to the character and he made him come alive. Michael Gambon is my Dumbledore. Number 17, favorite Hogwarts class. Probably potions, both in the books and what I would like to do in Hogwarts if I was there myself. In the books, the scenes in potions class always had that level of tension that none of the other classes had because of Snape. So they were always just that little bit more interesting to read. But if I were in Hogwarts, I think I would enjoy potions the most as well. I've always been a little bit fascinated with alchemy, and it kind of seems like a game. Being able to take all the stuff and put it together and create something. I think I'd enjoy that more than just memorizing spells, memorizing words, memorizing ways to flick your wand. With potions, there is much more of a structure to it, and I am a totally structure-based person, so I would thrive with that, I think. And you know, since I am a Slytherin, I wouldn't have to worry about getting unfair treatment by Snape. Number 18, most useful spell. I'm not sure what the actual spell is, but apparition. Apparating and disapparating. If I could have any one spell in the entire wizarding world, it would be apparition. To get from one place to another, like that, life would be so easy. I don't have a vehicle. I haven't had a vehicle for most of my life, so getting places can be hard. Think of all the time you could save by not having to commute places, and the money you'd save by not having to pay for cabs or bus fare or gas and insurance if you do have a vehicle, and going far away places. You know how expensive it is to take an airplane anywhere? To apparate, to just be able to, you know, hey, I want to spend the weekend in Bora Bora. Bam, I'm there. Oh, that would just be the life. Number 19, if you could bring one character back to life, who would it be? I don't have an answer for this. Maybe bring Snape back, give him another chance at life. Now that he fulfilled his promise to protect Harry, maybe he could finally get some closure with the whole Lily thing and move on and have a life of his own. That would be nice. So I guess, yeah, sure, we'll bring back Snape. 19 years later, at the end of the story, we'll bring back Snape, give him a second shot at life. Number 20, Hallows or Horcruxes. In the story, Horcruxes, I think that Harry was right to continue to hunt down the Horcruxes instead of switching his focus to finding the Hallows. And in real life, if I had a choice between having Horcruxes and having Hallows, I'd probably go with Horcruxes. Aside from the whole having to murder someone to make them thing, because I wouldn't do that. But you know, if I could just have them without having to do that, Horcruxes. Having the Hallows is just asking for trouble. There's always going to be someone who is searching for them, always someone who wants that Elder Wand and who will kill you to get it. And the other Hallows too. There's probably people who would kill for those too. And you couldn't even really use them. The Resurrection Stone is basically useless. The Elder Wand, again, makes you a target. If anyone realizes what you've got, you're pretty much doomed. The invisibility cloak would be nice to have, but in everyday life, is it gonna really come in handy? Probably not. But Horcruxes would be useful. I don't want to be immortal. I would never go, 7 Horcruxes, but if I could have 1 as insurance to protect me against freak accidents like getting hit by a car or suddenly having a heart attack, if I could prevent those kind of sudden unexpected deaths, that'd be pretty good. At number 21, how much does Harry Potter mean to you? I can't answer that. How do I answer that? It means a lot. I didn't grow up with Harry Potter. I did not get into Harry Potter until I was in my 20s, so I don't have that connection to it that a lot of people do. It's not something that helped form who I am as a person, but it is a story that has touched me deeper than any other story I've ever experienced. It's a story that I cannot wait to share with my kids so they can have the experience of growing up with it and learn all the lessons it has to give that are such great lessons to learn when you're that young. The lesson about love, that love triumphs over everything. And I truly believe that it does. I believe that love is stronger than hate, and that love is something that we all need in our lives, whether it be familial love or friendship or romantic love. We need some kind of love to survive. And now as a mother, the story is meaning even more to me because so much of the story is about a mother's love. It's about Lily giving her life to protect her child. And what mother wouldn't do that? I would absolutely do what Lily did in her situation to protect my son. And there's so many other great examples of motherly love in this story that means so much more to me now than they ever did before. I could go on forever about how much Harry Potter means to me. It means a lot. It means a whole freaking lot. And that wraps it up for the Harry Potter tag. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and if I did, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And if you did enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up and let me know down below what your favorite Harry Potter book is. And until next time, everybody, happy reading. Bye-bye.